What's really happening in the real estate market? We're going to talk about that right now. So it's official. The first month has passed after the foreign buyer ban set by the federal government. Now, despite this, sales and home prices have not plummeted like a lot of experts and analysts thought they would. And the main reason for this happening is because there's a lot less homes available, even compared to February of 2022, which was the peak of the real estate market. Okay, now, if you are currently living in Toronto or you know someone that lives in Toronto, please ensure that they fill out the occupancy forms. Okay, essentially what this is that the city of Toronto wants to ensure that homes are not being vacant for more than 6 months. Okay, and if you don't fill this out before end of February, you will be getting a fine of about $250. Plus, there's going to be a 1.25% interest the first day of default. On another note, the Bank of Canada has raised rates by 25 basis points, which is the 8th consecutive interest rate hike. Okay, now the good news is that the inflation has come down to 6.3% in December from 8.1% in June. And it is expected that inflation will continue to come down. Okay, now the reason why is that they're expecting that it's going to be less foreign demand for Canadian products, which will allow Canadian supply chains to catch up. Now, inflation is expected to drop to 3% this year, and next year it's going to be dropping down to 2% in 2024, which is their ideal target. And if this happens, they're not going to raise interest rates again. Now, the second note that we should talk about is the provincial governments with Bill 23. Essentially, it's the More Homes Built Faster Act by the Ford government. And essentially what this means is it allows developers to waive the development charges, but this causes municipalities all over Toronto to lose $5 billion. Now, this is considerably a lot less of taxes that they're collecting, and so they need to come up with this shortfall in other ways. And what they're all going to be doing is to raise property taxes. Now, East Gwillimbury is going to be hit hardest, is what analysts expect, which is about 100%. Okay, Toronto and Aurora is going to be about 6%. Richmond Hill hasn't come out with a number yet, but it is expected that they lose $330 million over 10 years. And in Vaughan, it's going to be anywhere from $169 million to $175 million. Okay, so they may raise property taxes by 77 to about 88% if they don't come up with revenue in other ways. Okay, Markham is going to be about 6.4%, but it hasn't been finalized yet. Okay, so if you have any other questions, please let me know. But for now, let's dive right into the numbers. Let's go. Looking at the Vaughan real estate markets, we can see that the detached homes are the most popular types of homes in the marketplace. Okay, and it has more of a heavier influence on the average figures overall. Okay, now we're gonna still talk about the semis. We're still gonna be talking about the townhouses. Okay, if you want to talk about the other types of homes, please let me know and we can have a discussion. So we can see here that in January last month, there were 66 transactions that happened, and in a month before, it was only 60. So really, it went up by 10%. Okay, and if you look at the all-time high of February, there's 207 transactions that happened, and then now it's down to 66. So what that means then is there's a significant decrease, a 68% decrease in sales volume. Okay, now obviously back then, February, unrealistic interest rates were 0.25 at the time. It's gone up 8 consecutive times now by the Bank of Canada. We're back to reality. Now, if you look at the actual active listings, how many homes are available now? As a homeowner, there are a lot more homes available and a lot more competition that you're going to be facing. Okay, this is compared to even the pandemic, the actual height, 189 homes. Okay, a month before, in December, it was 187, so it actually went up quite a bit. And it's very similar to the condo apartments as well. Okay, so if you're thinking about looking to sell, you need to be really realistic in terms of your pricing. Okay, why do you want to sell? You need to ask yourself that. Why? Is it a job, or is it something else? Just recreation? Now, when it comes to the actual sale prices, it has gone fluctuating. As you probably heard, that the prices have continued to come down from the peak. However, if you compare to owning a home back when back in 2020, you're still up significantly. Okay, for detaches, you're still up 34%. If you are, semi-detaches, you're up 32%. And if you're on a townhouse, you're up at least 13% in that same time period. Okay, so it's really about perspective. Okay, if you think about, February again, very unrealistic. Money was free, and you can see that there are more listings, but also the prices have continued to decrease. All right. Now, a lot of people have thought that the prices would fall even further, especially how it was a foreign buyer ban just introduced in January. But in reality, it really hasn't affected that much. Okay. So in terms of pricing wise, right, on a month-to-month basis, detaches fell by about 8%. Semi-detaches actually went up by 3%. And townhouses actually went down by about 4%. Okay, so it really depends on the type of homes. If you're thinking about making a transition from townhouses to semi, this is a good time to actually do so. Or you got more selection. Prices have actually came even closer now. Okay, it's a bigger jump to detaches. And now when it comes to the type of market, right? Is it a seller's market? Is it a buyer's market? What is it, right? A lot of people are confused about this, especially real estate agents, the part-time ones, right? You may be thinking a lot of real estate agents, are very, very successful. The reality is that about 70% of them do less than 5 transactions in 1 year. Okay, so talking about the type of market here, whether you're in a conversation with friends, family, you can really talk and refer to this video. Okay, where if the number is 0 to 4, it's the seller's market. From 4 to 5, it's a balanced market, and from 6 onwards, it's more of a buyer's market. Okay, and we can see here for detaches, the townhouses, the semis, it's still a seller's market. But for condo townhouses, for condo apartments, it's more of a buyer's market. Okay, so if you have any questions, please let me know. I'm happy to help. If you have any family and friends that are thinking about buying or selling, let me know as well. Talk soon. Take care. Bye-bye.